Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Welcome to my live. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations. And I'm also an independent designer with Jar Couture, and I love all things crafty. So if you feel like you don't have time for crafts, if you feel like a blank surface scares the pants off of you, or if you just don't like crafts because they're too messy, then you're in the right place. I can show you how easy peasy crafting can be with the right products. Once you say hi, once you hop on, say hi in the comments. Tell me where you are watching from. If you happen to be watching this later, make sure you put in hashtag replay so that I can see any comments that you may have. I also want to let you know that I am live in 3 locations this evening. I'm live on my Facebook business page. I'm live on my YouTube channel, and I'm also live in my private Facebook group. And speaking of private Facebook group, if you happen to be watching from there, just make sure that you give StreamYard permission to access your profile name. Otherwise, you show up as Facebook user in my comments, and I don't know who to say hi to. So let's see who has jumped on. I see that Jason is watching from the other side of the door, and I see that Chris is also on, so welcome. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with my project. Tonight we're going to be using the new 5x8 jar cutout. It's about 3/4 of an inch thick, and as you can see, it can be double-sided. It comes with the Jar Cutouts transfer. So there is 2 designs in this transfer: bloom and grow, and follow your heart. Again, and you don't have to use the words, you can just use the jar outline. I see that Bonita is on. She's watching from my little craft room in her basement, just like me. So welcome. We'll also be using the Valentine minis, and unfortunately these are now sold out, and I don't believe they will be restocking them, but we'll be using one of the minis. And then I'm also going to be using one of the transfer phrases from this Love Lives Here. I'm either going to use Home is My Happy Place or Bless This Home. I might even put Love Lives Here too. We'll have to see. So this is a size C transfer. It is a 12x18. This one happens to come with quite a few different sayings. I do have everything linked in a cart link for you in the description of the video. So if you want to check out some of the supplies that I've used in this project, just hit that cart link in the description. And the cool thing about the cart link is you can add or subtract anything. Say you already have the jar cutouts, but you want to add the Love Lives Here transfer, you can get rid of everything except this product, and you can add other items to your cart as well. I also have I have a Smart Bio link in the description of my video that takes you to my website, that takes you to my YouTube channel. There's a link for joining Club Couture. There's a link for, I believe, signing up. There's links to both catalogs. So go ahead and check those out at the end of the video. And with that, I'm going to change the camera angle. So let's go this way, and we'll go that way. So now you can see what I'm doing. So the first thing I want to do, now that I got rid of this piece of cardboard, is bring it back in, and we're going to paint both sides of this jar cutout. So I'm just going to use my black paste, and I'm going to get a stir stick. I'm going to pull out. I'm going to pull out more than I think I need, because the nice thing is even if I water it down, I can still put it back in. That might be way too much. I can still put it back in my jar when I'm finished, and it'll just kind of reconstitute itself back into what is in the jar. The cool thing about painting with the chalk paste is, because it is chalk based, it dries super fast. So I'm just watering it down so that it's more like a craft acrylic paint consistency. You can paint with it straight out of the jar if you're using the new formula, but I do like to water it down a little bit. Add a little bit more. And I am using distilled water because I will be putting it back into my jar. So has everyone had a great week so far? Tell me what the weather's like where you're watching, because in Salina, Kansas, it is 18 degrees and probably feels like 0, I would imagine, right now. When I left work at 5, it felt like 4 with the wind chill. It was cold. So hopefully where you're watching, it is sunny, well, not sunny and warm. So I'm just using one of the paintbrushes from the artist tool set. You can use any paintbrush you want. You could use a foam brush. You could even use a wet wipe. It just goes on so smooth. So I'm actually going to paint both sides this evening. I'm going to paint both sides black. So we'll have kind of a side that's more Valentine's Day appropriate, and we'll have the other side will be more of an evergreen or everyday design. So kind of long strokes so I can get rid of some of my paintbrush strokes. Okay. Let's dry this side. Okay, now that it's dry, I can see where I missed a few spots. And right up here. Mainly around the edges, but I will be sanding the edges, most likely. Oops. Okay. Try that. That looks pretty good. You could also paint these with just a crafter's acrylic paint. You could paint them with chalk paint. You could stain them. You can kind of, I would sand a little bit of the white surface off, but then you could certainly stain them. You can decoupage them with scrapbook paper or napkins. Okay, the same spots where I missed, I've still managed to miss. So I'm going to kind of pounce to see if I can get into those rougher spots. And I didn't sand before because I wanted to see if the paint would kind of fill in some of the uneven edges. better. So now I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to paint the other side real quick. Long brush strokes where I've already painted so I can get rid of some of those. I'll water it down a little bit. So do y'all have big plans for the weekend? We're almost there, people. We're almost there. Okay, just painting a few of these spots where I've missed. Okay, so let's give that a dry. Don't forget to hit the heart button or the like button. Spread some of the crafty love across Facebook and YouTube. Tag any crafty friends that you think might enjoy watching the video. Okay. Again, there's a few spots that I've missed. So I'm just going to kind of pounce. I think it's just areas in the wood that are uneven. Just going to make sure I get that paint down in there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't want big old spots of white to show. So I'm going to put the rest of this paint back in as much as I can, because I did get a little much. Use my paintbrush to get some of it. I'll put that down. Okay, got most of that. I managed to miss getting it all over my hands. So if you happen to watch the NFL, is your favorite team still in the playoffs? Let me know who you're rooting for if they're still left. We're a Philadelphia Eagles family, and sadly they lost last week. Okay, so I'm going to flip this one over, and I'm going to wax this side. So I'm just using the surface wax. I do believe it is probably sold out, but it will come back in stock. I'm just going to lightly put some wax down. Some of my paint will probably come back up. Okay, so I'm going to heat the wax up a little bit. Let me see if I can get it buffed in there a little more. What this does is it heats up that wax and makes it a lot more pliable. And kind of melts it into the spaces where I need it. And then I'm just going to buff all that in. Okay. Okie doke. So I'm going to move my cardboard. I'm going to bring in this towel just so it can protect the other side of my paint. That's probably going to make that a little difficult. Let's try some. Let's get a washcloth instead. That way we don't have dark on. Is that any better? Yep, that's a little better. Okay. I'm going to bring in our jar transfer. So this is an 8.5 by 11 size B transfer. It is $14.99. So these are reusable silkscreen sticky back transfers. So wherever you see the white is silkscreen fabric. So all of your O's, the little dots that you see in the heart, the little insides of the flowers and the leaves, those all stay put. So I don't have to worry about losing those like I would if I were using a vinyl decal. I'm just going to put, follow your heart on this one. And then bloom and grow. Because these are reusable, I will be cleaning these later, and I want to make sure that I put the transfer on the right backer sheet and that I put it on the right side of the backer sheet. So we always try to mark the backs of our backer sheets. And you'll also see that this one has a white line that is a cut mark or a score mark. So you could technically cut this into two different transfers. For right now, I'm going to leave my backer sheet intact. How I store these kind of determines if I cut them, because I have different storage systems for different sized transfers based on the surface that they fit on. So I'm just going to lift up for right now this transfer, and I'm going to score that cut line with my scissors. And then we are going to bring in a fuzz towel, and it can be any terry cloth towel. So I'm going to pull off the follow your heart. And again, you can see the silk screen. You can see my hand through that silk screen. So I'm just going to place it on a terry cloth towel, and I'm going to fuzz it several times. That just means I'm putting a layer of lint down on the back of the transfer so that it's not so sticky that when I pull it off of the jar, it stretches or distorts the transfer, and it also protects my painted wood surface. Okay, so we're going to put this on the jar cutout, and I can see, because my background is dark, I can see through the teal portion of the transfer to line it up. If it was still white, I might have a little bit more difficulty lining it up, but painting it helps me to see where the edges are. So now that I have it where I want it, I'm going to burnish it down where the silk screen material is. I do have a little lumpy there, but because it's in the teal area, I'm not going to worry about it very much. So I'm going to do the outsides and the little highlight marks in Shimmer Frost. And I'm going to do the, actually I'm going to do the words also in Shimmer Frost. And then the little heart is going to be red. So I'm going to open my paste. And I'm going to pull out a few squeegees and a multi-tool. So we just use, to apply the paste, we just use a little rubber squeegee. And then you can see this actually happens to have some glitter in it. And it's a fine glitter, and it won't, once it dries, it won't, it doesn't flake off. So if you love the look of glitter, but you hate the mess of glitter, the shimmer pastes are wonderful for that. So I'm just have some on my squeegee, and I'm going to pull it down the silk screen material and just kind of help remind me that once I get to that heart, not to chalk it, because I'll forget, and I will certainly forget to, and then I will chalk it, and I will be sad. Because these shimmer pastes are a little bit more translucent, I'm going to try to make sure I get a really good coverage, since I'm putting a light color over a dark background. Okay, Robin, go slow. And these shimmer pastes do take a little bit longer than normal chalk to dry, so I do have a little bit more work time than normal. Get a little bit more. Can I do it in one fell swoop? I'm going to get a little bit more and go over the words again, because I can see the, dark background through it. You guys are quiet this evening. Okay, so I'm going to grab my multi-tool, and I'm just going to get a little bit of the red. I'm going to do the heart. Okay, so I'm going to pull it up slowly to make sure I got it all. I am going to get, I would have preferred white, but we're out of white right now on the website. So I try not to use too many things that are out of stock. Super cute. Let's see if I can hold it up. So there is our heart. Super cute. So let's dry that. I don't think I'm going to wash my, just going to wash my multi-tool. And I'm going to wash this squeegee so I have less to wash. We'll just reuse it for the, actually I didn't technically need to wash it, but this way it'll be fresh and clean. And while I'm doing this, this is kind of hanging out to dry. Now that we've got that all cleaned up, let's hit it with the quick dry tool. definitely very sparkly. Thanks, Jason. I wish we had sparkle vision because then you could see what it looked like. It's very, very pretty. So I probably shouldn't have cleaned anything because now I'm just gonna. So this one's gonna have a tag on it, and that tag is actually a little. Should have grabbed a different tag, but let me see what I have in my stash. See if I have one that's not so wide. Let's see if that one will fit the truck. It does fit the truck. Yep, I think that one works better. I was going to use a chockable chip, but I think we'll use this one instead. Stuck on something. So this one has a pretty rough surface, so I'm definitely going to wax it. Hey, Amanda. Hi, Oliver. Hi, Thea. How are you guys doing? Okay, so I'm going to wax this tag because it's pretty rough. And I want a smooth surface. And this is not a Jar Couture surface, so I definitely want to wax because I don't know I don't know what technically what this outer surface is. It could be paper. So I definitely don't want my transfer to stick to it. I'm going to heat up that wax. And then I'm going to give it a good buff to get that good and smoothed out. Okay, so we're going to take this super cute little truck mini icon. We're going to put it on that tag. Remember, we have score or cut lines. Okay, so it's going to go this way. I'm just going to stick it on this tag. This cute little truck. Oops, I did not get that straight. I'm kind of using the edge of the tag in reference to the edge of the square to make sure I'm even. And then I'm just going to burnish it down. Okay, so I'm going to get my white paste out. Oliver likes my creations. Well, thank you, Oliver. That's super sweet to say. Okay, so I'm using my shadow or shimmer frost. And we're going to do the truck and then these little accent lines. So I'm just pulling my squeegee down the silk screen area, being careful not to get into the hearts. Okay. Let's put the lid on for the time being. I just don't want it to dry out. So I'm going to get my red out. And I'm going to use my multi-tool. See, I cleaned prematurely. So I'm just going to chalk the hearts. Oops, I think I just got into my truck. Let's see. I think I went a little overboard. A little tiny bit. So I'm going to get this little detail tool out. It has a really small squeegee. And I'm just going to try to touch up that truck if I can. Got a tiny bit of red where the white should be. Let's see if I can cover that up. Okay. There is the truck, little red hearts. So let's cover this up. Let's just place that lid on. We'll get our dryer out. Okay, so we'll let this hang out a little bit. We're going to turn our heart over. I have to be careful so I don't scratch the back. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to wax. Because I've painted, and because this is kind of there are some ridges in the surface. So is anybody crafting along with me? Anybody working on something? And don't forget, if you make something and you're part of the private Facebook group, the Crafty Collab, make sure you're sharing with everybody. Post your photos of what you're working on, what you've gotten finished. We'd love to see what everyone's working on. Okay, so I'm going to heat the wax up. See if I can get it down into those ridges a little more. And you could do the same thing with a hair dryer. I just wouldn't use it on a really hot setting. Just maybe a warmer setting. I'm going to give it one more buff. Okay. Make sure that that's cooled down. So I'm just going to bring in the other side, the other transfer, but I'm only going to use the outside design. And again, we're going to fuzz a few times. That's just to get lint on the back side so that it doesn't stick so much that it pulls or distorts or it pulls up any of my paint. But the wax will also help that as well. And because this is a darker surface, because I've painted it, the background, I can see through the teal portion of my transfer a lot easier. So I can see where I'm placing the design. If this were still wide, it might be a little harder to place. I'm only going to focus on the outline of the jar. So let's wipe this multi-tool off and just reuse it. We have less to clean later. Okay, so we're just going to use our Shimmer Frost. Keep reminding me that I'm just doing the outside because we're going to do something different to the inside. So I'm just using my multi-tool just because I have a little bit more control. And I maybe won't go off the rails and paste more than I should. Using this multi-tool is just a lot like using a pencil or a pen or a marker. Oops, that went off the rails, literally and figuratively. Just trying to pull up some of that excess so I can use it somewhere else. Hey, Oliver, do you have any good jokes if you're still on? Tell me a funny joke. Have your mom help you tell me a funny joke. I'm just going to put, there's a little bit of excess. I'm going to take it off. Now I'm going to pull up my transfer slowly to see if I missed any spots. Nope, I did not. So now I'm going to dry this. And I think we are all done with the Shimmer Frost. Oliver says, what is green and not heavy? What is green? What is green and not heavy? Does anybody out there have the answer? A booger. What is green and not heavy? A leprechaun. What is green and not heavy? That's a tough one, Oliver. What's the answer, Oliver? Light green. That was a good one. That's a pretty good one, Oliver. Good job. Okay, so I'm going to add a little cute little saying to this piece of canvas. So I kind of want, it looks like I want it 5. And then if I use one of these, that's too funny, Oliver. You did good. Then I want it like 4.5. No, I don't want it 4.5. That one might be too big. Let's do, well, I really like that home is the happy place. What if we did 3.5? That's not, let's do that. 3.5 by 5. Probably should have left my cutting mat out. Okay, so let's get pair of scissors. Let's go ahead, just so I don't get that all over the canvas. I'm going to snip this edge off, this sewn edge right here. I just snipped it, and I'm just going to tear it because I don't need it. This is just it's a piece of canvas. So I'm going to snip, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm going to snip this at 3.5-ish. I think that'll be. Jason says, since we're doing jokes, why didn't Han Solo enjoy his steak dinner? Because he's a scruffy nerf herder? Why didn't Han Solo enjoy his steak dinner? I don't know. Anybody know that one? Why didn't Han Solo enjoy his steak dinner? It was chewy. Oh, that's funny. Too funny. Okay, so I have my little, hopefully 3.5 by. Okay, so I'm just gonna, because this edge has a lot of fray to it, I'm just gonna pull some of these out so it has quite a bit of, it has a little more. Okay, so now I've got to figure out, I had right here, so I have an old piece of one of my electric die cutting machines. I just have just a scrap of one of the sticky mats. So I'm going to put it down on here just so it helps hold my fabric. I kind of want to put it on here a little more even. Okay, so we're going to use Home is My Happy Place. And we fuzzed when we worked on wood, but if we want to work on canvas, I typically don't fuzz. And I want to find the center of this design, not necessarily the piece of transfer. So I'm going to line up the top of the H and the bottom of the P so that I can find the center of the design on the vertical or horizontal. Yeah, no, the vertical center. So I can kind of get it centered on my piece of fabric. And I'm going to do the same thing this direction. So I'm just pinching, and that gives me kind of a little visual. So I know that that looks center across, and that looks mostly center up and down. Might need to come up just a skosh. Yeah, that looks better. So I'm just going to burnish that down and hope for the best. Okay, I'm going to get my black paste out. You could use ink, you could use paste. Because this isn't going to be washed, I'm going to use paste. And I'm going to use a light touch because I don't want this to ooze and all over underneath my transfer. I'm just going to drag the paste down the silkscreen material. I'm going to try not to go over it too many times. I don't want it to ooze. And I'm going to pull it super slow so I don't splatter any of that ink. Uh-oh, the fabric is sticking to it. Okay. So I just got it over here. Oop, I don't know what happened. Must have hit my mouse maybe. I just have a bucket of water over here. And my transfers are kind of sitting here until I'm done. I'm just drying it with the quick dry tool. The only thing I didn't think about was how to attach it to the jar. And I do have to give credit where credit is due. I did not come up with this idea on my own. I did not use the same transfer that another designer used, but I did kind of chalk lifted her idea. Okay. So we're just going to put it on there just like that. I have some super glue here and I have some fabric tack. The only thing is this isn't gonna, well, it might dry quick. It is a pretty quick drying tool for glue. So we'll try that. Okay. Thanks, Amanda. Again, I can't take credit for it, but let's get it. There's a. I love this fabric tack, but it can get kind of goobery. It is acetone based, so if you have fingernail polish on or gel polish or acrylic fingernails, it will eat away at them. And because it's my favorite glue, that's why I don't get my nails done, because it would be a moot point. Because I use this for my, even though it's called Fabri-Tac, I do use it for my paper crafting. It's a very good paper crafting glue. I think I'm just going to stick to the edges because I don't want a lot of lumpy bumpies or possible lumpy bumpies in the fabric. And because I've been working with glue and my fingers, it may be wet on my fingers, I want to make sure I don't touch a lot of the paste. So actually what I'm going to do is push it down with the multi-tool. And this works great if you're working with hot glue as well, because these are silicone, they don't burn, they don't melt. At least they don't burn or melt as quickly as your fingers would. Okay, so there is that side of the jar. Super cute. Uh-oh. I've got a YouTube troll. Okie doke, so now let's put the pretty stuff on. I have a couple of beads. I have a cute little heart. We have our tag. Need to get some twine. So I have this little, I can't see it. I have a little wood heart here. Do you think I should, that one's a terrible looking heart. Do you think I should put it on the jar or leave it as is? Heart, no heart. There will be some twine up here. In fact, I have a different idea. And then you can decide after a bit. Okay, so let's wrap our twine. So we'll do this side first, and then we'll do the other side. So I'm just going to wrap a couple of times around the neck of the jar. Hold that tight. And then we're just going to make a simple loopy bow. And then maybe we'll see about gluing the heart inside the bow maybe. So I'm just going back and forth to make my bows, or to make the loops. It might be too many. Let's just stick with 3. So I have my cute little bow. And then I'm just going to tie it on here. And we're just going to tie that tight. And then we could maybe think about, except for I didn't turn my glue gun on. I like that better. So I think I'll glue that on right there. What do you guys think? Do you like it better up there on the bow, or do you like it better down at the bottom? While you're voting, I will plug in my glue gun. So vote away. Do you think the heart should be on the bow or at the bottom of the jar? Amanda says on top. So again, your choices are in the middle of the bow. I can get it there. So like that, similar to that. Or somewhere on the bottom. Like I could center it, and I'm going to get a different heart because that one has a few boo-boos. I can't reach. I need one of those grabber things. That isn't going to work because I can't. Let's get a different heart. Jason says on the bow as well. That one looks good. So we've got 2 votes of bows, so I think we'll go with that. While my glue gun is heating up, let's flip it over, and we'll just do a little, I'm gonna cheat. Hashtag short girl problems. Yep. Well, my new desk is way wider than I originally anticipated, but I have like the last foot of the desk is mainly like tech stuff, and so it kind of helps that way. But yes, it's a lot wider than we originally anticipated. So if I want something on the other edge of the desk, I have to walk around. Okay, so I just put my bow there, and I put my string there so I can tie the bow on. we're just going to do 3 loops again. And then we'll tie that on. Tie that tight. Okay, and then I've got 2 beads here. These beads might be oh, I forgot to tie on my tag. Somebody should have been yelling at me, tag, Robin, tag. And actually, I'm not going to use the beads. Hey, Ashley, how are you? Welcome. I'll have to show you we're making a double-sided jar, and the other side is kind of an evergreen or everyday motif. You'll actually recognize it because we've talked about both of these designs before. So I'm moving my bow because I remembered I wanted to put my tag over here. And so now that I've cut that off, actually, let's put this on first. Put it on the, I think I'm going to move that over some more. So it doesn't block all of my words. Ashley says she's doing good. She's asking how I'm doing. I'm doing well. Ready for some 50-degree weather again. This below 20 stuff is for the birds. I don't even think they like it. Okay, so there is that. I forgot the beads were supposed to be for the other side, but I actually don't think I want the beads on the other side. Okay, so there is this side. So we've got a cute little follow your heart with the cute little vintage truck. And then we used the Love Lives Here transfer, and I chalked it on some on a piece of scrap canvas. Actually, I think we'll put the beads on here. And I think to manage, Ashley says if it's going to be this cold, it needs to snow. You are absolutely right. So I'm going to put the beads on both tails on each side. That way it might help to wrangle and keep the tags, keep the tails from getting so squirrely. So I'm going to tie a knot. And we'll slide that bow there. And then catch, sorry, you probably can't see anything I'm doing. Catch both of these tails. And then we'll tie a knot. And then my glue gun should be, oops, heated up. Thank you, Ashley. I had fun making it. It looks a little weird, but that's okay. Okay, so now we have our little heart that you guys decided needed to go up here. So just put a little, figure out which side looks the prettiest. I'll just put a big old glob of glue there. Hope it sticks. Okay, put all that away. may have to, I'm going to have to glue down my bow. Gosh, I haven't used my glue gun in forever. What kind of crafter am I if I haven't used my glue gun? Okay, that's better. Okay, so let's go back to here. And we'll go to here and I will show you. So there is, home is my happy place. And then on the side, it says, follow your heart. Cute little jar tag. Again, I have everything linked. I think this is my favorite side. So again, this can be, this is your everyday decor, your evergreen side. And then this can be, could be an anniversary decor. It could certainly be Valentine's Day. And it could technically be every day. You could even change out the tag to where it's not so specific to Valentine's Day. So there is our cute little tag. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Just want to remind you that this is this month's Club Couture transfer. It is $19.99 a month, shipped free to your door. It comes with 3 paste singles, Peony, Raspberry Sorbet, and Shimmer Silver. The only way to get this exclusive transfer is to be a Club Couture member or a Chalk Couture designer. There is a minimum of a 3-month sign-up commitment when you join the club, but you can cancel at any time after that. In addition to your monthly subscription kit that gets sent straight to your mailbox, you do receive a $4.95 flat rate shipping on any additional Chalk site order. And from time to time, Chalk Couture also offers additional special offers and deals to Club Couture members. Speaking of deals, there are some re-released creative Kickstart transfers on the Chalk site. So if you go to my Chalk site at chalkcouture.com/robinseggblue.creations and click on the specials tab, you will see these transfers. Regular customers can get them for 20% off retail. Club members can get them for 50% off retail, and they can be used towards buying or earning the Kickstart, the current creative Kickstart transfers for free. So we have 2 creative Kickstart transfers and an accessory pack that launched last week. You can certainly buy these for retail value. The transfers are $14.99. I don't remember what the accessory pack costs. Ashley, if you happen to know that offhand, holler it in the comments. But if you spend $60, if you want to earn them free, you can buy the re-released Kickstart transfers. You can buy anything that's currently available. If you spend $60, you get the Feels Like Sunshine transfer. If you spend $75, you get the Feels Like Sunshine transfer plus the Fresh Start transfer. And if you spend $90, you get both transfers and the rainbow wood cutouts and the floral add-ons for free. And here are just some other cute projects that were made. I so love that banner. I think it is super cute. So that's what's available. Also, we always have the designer kit available. We have the regular kit at $99, and it's a $240 value. We also have the Business Basics Starter Kit that is $19, and you get the apron, the catalog, the startup guide, and their startup transfer. But you also, with either kit, you get a 15% off coupon. So in this case, you could use the coupon to build your own custom starter kit and combine that with your already 40% off. So Ashley says she can't wait to play with her other Kickstart transfer. I haven't played with them yet. They're waiting for me over here. I have a super cute idea that I want to use with the rainbows. I just have to get it I have to get that surface prepared. So that's going to be one of those ahead of time things. But yes, I hope to play with those this weekend. So excited about that. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to sand, but in this case, I may not. So, but super cute. Jar cutouts are available on my chalk site. They can be double-sided. You can use them with just the jar outline and then add, like in this case, you can add any other transfer to it that will fit. Super cute little decor, especially if you love mason jars. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I will be live again on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Central. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for always liking and sharing everything that I post on social media. Go follow me on Instagram. Go subscribe to me on YouTube. That way, if Facebook ever gets wonky, you can always watch me live there. Join my private group. We'd love to have you. We'd love for you to share all of your crafty ideas in the group, and I will talk to you later. Have a great evening.